guys, happy Saturday and welcome to my dining room. So yeah, I decided to change location today so you guys can see all the boxes behind me, which is my Wally's World Oracles. There is 500 copies sitting behind me, plus packing materials and some packing materials up there. But yeah, super excited. So I will get into that today. And kind of what? How are you? So yeah, I'm super excited. When the boxes, my Wally's Worlds, all these boxes had showed up, it was, the FedEx guy was dropping them off, and he was like trying to figure out like how to put them on the dolly to bring them to my front door, because we have like a really steep driveway, but we have some stairs, but then it's like a bunch of like river rocks, so you can't really like drag a dolly. So he went and like dumped the dolly in the rocks and like knocked over a vase. He was like swearing in Spanish, and he was like, and like in Spanish, he's like, freaking stairs, freaking rocks, so many freaking books or freaking boxes. And so, yeah, so he realized he had to carry each one of these boxes one by one, which I had to carry in by myself one by one. So I'm like, if I could do it, you could do it, bro. So yeah, I was like, just like looking at them in my dining room. I was like, those are mine. Those are my boxes. I'm like, those are my Wally Worlds, So I quickly like opened them all up, like quickly, was checking the boxes. Wally came out and he was like rubbing up on all the boxes, marking them. Loki wasn't too interested, but Wally loved it. And I'm like, well, that's because that's Wally's deck and Wally knows these are his. So I pulled out some, and he was like rubbing them. And then there's one that I pulled out for myself. And he marked all the cards. So I'll be showing you guys this. So right now it's charging with a piece of angel aura quartz that I actually got in the witch's bounty box this month. So it's like it's a treated quartz to give it that cool like ethereal rainbow effect, and I just feel it has such a wonderful energy, and I felt that it just goes really nicely with the energy of my Wally's World. So that's been the dealio since like Tuesday. These boxes came in, and then there's like a few things I ordered on Amazon to kind of go with people's stuff that they ordered from me, just to kind of make it feel a little bit more special instead of just like, oh, here you go. It's like, hey, you backed me on a project of mine, help to make a dream come true. I might as well make it feel special for you guys, right? Instead of just like, here you go, here's your deck of cards. Like, we don't want to be lame-os over here. So yeah, so I was just waiting for some Amazon stuff to come in. Yesterday, picked up some bubble wrap. I have some tissue paper left over from Christmas, actually a lot of tissue paper, so that's why I'm gonna be like wrapping the decks in like over the bubble wrap. And then I bought some stickers, which are up there. They're gonna go like on, like to hold the tissue paper together and kind of go on the outside of the packaging, kind of make it look cute. And then I'm waiting on one more thing that's gonna go inside the Wally's World packages, and that's coming on Tuesday. And as soon as I get that on Tuesday, like, everything's ready to go. Like, I'm ready to like, start wrapping. Tar Apple's here, what's up? And Essence, oh, hello. So yeah, I'm like, so excited. And then I went on USPS.com, our United States Postal Service, and I inputted everybody who backed me, like everybody who pre-ordered, and then the actual like pre-orders through my website. I put them in there so that it's easy for me to print out. It's like batches of 20 like labels at once from the post office. I can print them here at home and then just slap them on all the packages, and then they can scan them in batches of 20. So instead of scanning like each individual package and making it take forever and having everybody who's standing in line at the post office like totally going postal on me, I can just hand them one barcode. They can scan it, boom, those 20 are in, and I believe it sends an email to all those people with tracking number, so that's cool. Celtic Witch, what's up, girl? So yeah, the actually it was on I think it was Wednesday. I was putting in everybody's like info into yes, it's Wally's World. Yay! I was typing everybody's info into, the post office thing, on Wednesday, and there's like so many addresses and so many names because you have to put in a phone number. You have to put in if they're out of the country, like what their province is, plus their like out of country phone number, and some people forgot to put their province, or when they gave me their phone number, they forgot to put the 0 in front of their country code. So I had to like Google search and make sure, like, what is this province in? Like in the Netherlands, like what is the, so, so it's like a lot of like Google searching, making sure that like everybody's information is like completely filled out. And I was like, I could never be a postal worker. I'd go postal the first day. Like, and Debbie's here. Hey, Snoop Debbie Deb. So yeah, on Tuesday, I'm gonna get the last of the stuff that goes inside the Wally's World packages just to make them extra special. And then yeah, I'm gonna just start printing out those labels. So I'm giving myself to the end of next week for everything to start shipping out. So yeah, so if you pre-ordered and you were like back around Kickstarter, or you pre-ordered through my website, your babies are right here. And I can't wait to send your babies off with some love and some little goodies, Me too, Debbie. And I can't wait for you guys to get them and, and tell me how you like them. And it was like I almost started crying when, I got to hold like, I had the prototype of my deck, but that was like not how it was going to feel. It was the wrong card stock and everything. It was just meant to say, oh, this is what it looks like when it's in cards. But I knew that's not how my deck was going to like look and feel. And to have like the box and the guidebook and everything in my hands was like, this is like how it was in my mind. And I was trying to tell people like, this is how it is. Sonita, hello. And I was like, this is how it's supposed to look. And I'm like, and some people like were like, oh, maybe it'll be like this or this. And it was just like to have something that was like literally in your head that you'd been dreaming about how it would feel in your hands, and to have that like, be in front of you. Oh, thank you, Sunita. I'm extra ecstatic today. I mean, I'm always in a pretty good mood, but I'm like extra ecstatic today because of yeah, my deck. So I mean, while it's here, maybe I'll just like take you guys through here. And by the way, there's of course going to be decks left over. So if you like want to get a Wally's World, it is available on my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. Just have to plug. So this is the cover of the box. So you can see the beautiful gold foil, Wally's World, a healing journey through sacred sites. That's my cat, Wally. Sorry, he's not a cat, he's Puma. And he's on top of the world. These are my white roses, because I have white, red, and orange red roses in the front yard. Yes, Celtic Witch. I was like, oh my god. And then I picked a color for the bottom of the box, and it was just a pretty, like a blue that I really liked and I thought went with the flowers. And when the dude saw it for the first time, he was like, oh, it's Tiffany blue. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize I picked Tiffany blue for the bottom of the box. I mean, I guess it just makes it more special. So yes, this is Tiffany blue. I didn't even realize I did that. I was just like doing the like color picker, going through like the internet images and trying to find like a color that I would love to go as the bottom of my box. But there you go. So this is my little quote on the inside. A healing journey is a journey home. And that's also in that Tiffany blue. And then, of course, the box says Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And then going on to the inside bottom of the box, I'm actually going to do like a review of my own deck for next Sunday, because I always have my reviews on Sundays, and I already have one posted for this Sunday. So I'll have this posted for next Sunday, like an actual like full beautiful like professional review, like going through each of the cards and everything. So it's probably going to be a little bit more lengthy than my regular reviews, because it's like kind of for my own deck. So so yeah, we have the Seed of Life in here, and I kind of talked about why I chose the seed of life instead of the flower of life, is because I wanted it to be more of a beginning. You know, if people are beginning their journeys, or you know, not complete. You know, so there's that. I have my little guidebook. So yeah, it's got all my little flowers there. Yeah, so you know, inside it's got a little bit, well, of course, it's got your table of contents, but it's got like a little bit about the deck and like how I came up with it, and like how our community came together to kind of put this deck together. Sherry Bug, what's up? And then it's got just a little bit about the cards. I think I might sneeze. Hold on. Sneezing? Yes, no, maybe so. Catch a tiger by his toe? Nope. Okay, we're not sneezing. But here we go. So it'll have a picture of the card. It's in black and white. And then it has like who the photographer was, because it's not all me, right? You know, because like I said, these pictures were submitted by our community. I know, Sherry Bug! And so a lot of it's like cell phone pictures that are scanned in from like old Polaroids and old like film camera pictures. But it's personal pictures, so it's not pictures off the internet. So some of them, you know, might look kind of professional because some people have some really good photography skills, and some of them won't. But the point of it is that it's from somebody else's lens, somebody else's point of view. It's their personal healing spot, and you're taking a look through their eyes into their world, and you have this beautiful portal of roses that gives you that window into looking into a place of healing for them, and then seeing if you can draw on a little bit of that healing. Hey, Bona. So yeah, so it has the photographer, has the location, and it has a little bit about what the photographer had to say. And Lady Night of Avalon, what's up? So yeah, it's I'm pretty excited. And then there's, of course, a little bit about me. And then the dude was like, "Why didn't you put a picture of you and Wally like at the about the author?" I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't think of that. I mean, you guys know what I look like, whatever." So, you know, there's like the about the author. And then of course, card 64, which is to me one of the most special cards in the deck, because this is your healing journey home. Okay, so let's take a look at the edges of this deck. Ah! So yes, I made sure to get kind of a darker kind of gold, you know, gold gilded edging. And then that's my red orange rose surrounded by hemimorphite, which if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, I did a whole video on like what is hemimorphite. You know, a lot of people don't really know much about that stone. So yeah. And I don't know if you guys can see, the seed of life is kind of superimposed on top of the red orange rose, so it's like meant to be like backings of healing. So if you wanted to do like little mini like grids, you know, you could, you know, do little crystal grid there, you know, if you wanted to. Oh, Celtic Witch, I'm glad you liked it. Okay, so let's take a look at the front of the cards. Oh, Lady Night, it's such, to me, it's like, that's why it's my favorite snow in the world, is because it's such a, I can really feel its energy. Like I can feel energy, you know, off of a lot of stones, different types of stones, but I don't know, hemimorphite is like my soul stone, like, you know. it feels really good to me, and it has helped me through a lot. So if you're wondering what this little glittery stuff is, that would be the gold foil triangles up at the top and bottom, and the gold foil circles on either side. I'm trying to get the light to catch it. And then you have your portal of roses here. And then you have this first one, which was taken in Wisconsin, and I believe the horse's name is Charlie. And for me, just circles and triangles, I like shapes and, you know, sacred geometry and things like that. So that's kind of what I work with. And what I was thinking with the circles, you know, when you put the circles together, you get the infinity symbol. So I've literally just basically split the infinity symbol and put, you know, the image in the middle so that it's like you have an infinite amount of healing that comes through this image. It's in the middle of infinity. So it's so pretty. So proud of you for having a dream and getting it done. Thank you, Sherry Bug. I'm pretty stoked over here. So yeah, and the cardstock is just the way I wanted it. You know, the prototype, of course, was not the cardstock it was meant to be. It was just a prototype, just to see, make sure the images like are centered and everything, and you know, look okay on cards. But this is the cardstock that I wanted. It's that matty cardstock. You know, thick but not too thick, you know, so that if people wanted to riffle shuffle, they could. I wanted the card size to be, you know, an oracle size, but not too big where if people had smaller hands, they couldn't, you know, handle the cards. Lady Net said, I don't know if you already said it, but how long did it take you to make this deck, start to finish? Okay, that's a good question. When did I start? I started, on my birthday of last year, or just after my birthday of last year, which was June of last year. The like idea that was in my head was in there for like a year or two before I finally decided to do something about it. So that's when I put the call out on, like in June after my birthday of last year, so the 2018. I was like, hey, you know, if you have images and you would like to submit them for a deck that I'm going to create. I didn't have a name for the deck yet. Some people submitted some names. I still have the name of the person who emailed me and came up with Wally's World, and then the dude had also said Wally's World, so like the two of them kind of came up with the name together or like independently, but like, you know, they both came up with the same name, which I thought was kind of cool. And let's see, and then me actually like working on it, making sure, you know, putting it all together and doing the Photoshop that I did in here. Because I had to Photoshop, you know, my roses. I had to Photoshop like the circles and triangles. I had to Photoshop Wally in each of the cards, but make sure that he's not, it's not easy to find him, you know, because he's meant to be like your animal spirit guide, and it's not like our animal spirit guides are front and center in our journey, like, because they're not our journey, they're just guides on our journey. So that's why Wally's not front and center in these cards, but like here he's chilling here, and this is actually my aunt's backyard in Vista. But let's see, I worked on the deck till, let's see, about November, December is when I pretty much had it done. And then I started, you know, because I was emailing back and forth to my print company. I emailed them the images, I emailed them the guidebook, and then it was after January because they were having their Chinese New Year. So it was like in like December through like February, they were kind of like like in party mode. So we were kind of working on it back and forth, and then I had to make some adjustments because I didn't know about, like, it was a learning process, you know, especially when it comes to having gold foil on cards. I had to make separation files, and that was new to me. I'd never made separation files where you have to make files with just those symbols on it that can overlay, you know, on here. So that way they can put that file into their printer, and then it, like, you know, it's like their computer, and then their computer will then overlay the gold foil onto the images. So I can't actually have the triangles and circles on here. I had to remove those, put them on a separation file, and then they had to like superimpose them on the top. So that was like, I like really know about Photoshop now. So, you know, I had to like learn all that stuff. I had to like proof all the images. And then let's see. And then it was, then in April, you know, because I felt like everything was done. Like, okay, now we're ready to go. And I was waiting for a date that felt right for doing the Kickstarter. So I did the Kickstarter in April. The Kickstarter ended in May. And then I had to wait for the funds to come through from Kickstarter so that I could pay the printer the down payment, because they didn't want the money all up front. They wanted a 30% down. And then I was just kind of like waiting, and I'd email, how are the decks coming? Can I get some images so I can give the people on Kickstarter? And then, yeah, and then it was like, okay, your decks are going to be, shipping out to you should take about a month or so at the most. Here's your tracking number for FedEx. And then I needed to put down the last 70% for the decks. And so, I did that. And then in the meantime, I was like getting my packaging material and everything ready so that when everything came, I could just like, there wouldn't be much delay, because I know me, if I'm waiting for a deck, like, I'm excited, right? Because I've backed somebody on Kickstarter. So I know that, some of you guys who backed me are probably like, I want to have my deck and I don't want you guys to, have to wait for a long time, So I'm like staying on top of things, and I'm utilizing the fact that, since I'm a teacher, I have my summer off, so I can, get everything done before I like have to go back to school. And so then, yeah, it took 8 days from China to here. I'm like, I can't get a deck from Australia to here in 8 days. I'm like, 8 days and it's all packaged up and it's on my doorstep. Okay, so let's see. Lady Knight said, wow, really interesting to hear about the process. Oh, you're really welcome. Like it was at times stressful, but I enjoyed the process because I was literally putting together a dream. And I think when you're putting together something that is coming out of your heart, it's like, you're not bummed about setbacks. I mean, sometimes you're like, really? I have to redo that whole file? I had to redo these cards like 4 times, every single card, and it took a long time. But what kept me going was that, I was realizing something that I really wanted to do. And it wasn't like I was doing this like for a boss or something like that. Like I was doing it because like that's what my soul wanted to do. So it was like, okay, I have to redo the cards again because like the borders were off center, or I cut something off, or like the number was cut off, and I'm like, so but yeah, it was a labor of love. Okay, oh, Debbie's taking off. All right, Debbie, well, you have a great rest of your day. I think you're going off to work. Sherry Bug said, hashtag already looking for the postman. Yeah, so, oh, and Cat's Whiskers is here. Hey! So yeah, what's nice about, uploading all your guys' contact information to the post office online is, since I can print everything out in batches, like all the labels, and I could have the postman just scan one barcode and then they all get scanned in, and then all of you get your like tracking numbers through your email addresses. But I can schedule a pickup for free. So I don't even have to go to the post office. Like I could just schedule the postman. He comes here, he takes all your decks. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Lady Knight said, did they tell you what size the cards can be, or did you decide on the size? I did decide on the size. All right, Debbie, well, you have fun at work. So Lady Knight, yes, I did. They gave me a few sizes. They said they could do any size. They could do custom size, but they gave me some sizes that were the most popular, like when it came to tarot cards or oracle cards. And I said I wanted something a little bit more, I said not tarot size, but bigger. So I gave them a number. And originally I had made my cards to the size that it was actually like, I was going off of like a Stacy DeMarco oracle deck size. And they said, we can do that size, but it would cost a lot more money. And they said, we have a size that's a little bit smaller and it seems to be a lot more popular. And so I kind of looked into that size and I was like, oh, well, that's like a perfect size. And they sent me, I had to pay $30 just to get some like samples of like different size cards and what they could do as far as foil. They had like holographic foil, which I thought was cool too. So I was like, I was like, maybe in the 2nd edition. And like what they could do for, foil on the cards. They had different types of card stock that they sent me, different boxes, box types. They said that they could basically do anything that I wanted to create. So I was like, okay, so I got a feel for a size, they sent me this size, and I was like, oh, well, actually, I like this size. So then I had to go back and fix all of my cards, all 64 of them, plus the backing, because I had made them too big, and if I shrunk it down, like the proportions were off, so I kind of had to like redo my borders and then re-put the picture in and then like redo. So that was like one of my like redos that I had to do. But yeah, I ended up choosing this size, but it wasn't the original size that I wanted, but I'm happier with the size than it would have been if it were bigger. I think that this is better for handling, and I like how it feels in my hands much better than if I had like a big Stacy DeMarco deck, which I probably wouldn't be able to hold like this with you guys. So, and since the fact that it was going to be a lot more cards and some of those like decks with Alana Fairchild, Stacy DeMarco, you know, all of them, their decks are big, but there's not 64 cards. There's usually like 44 or something, you know, like that. So I wanted something that was going to be more manageable. So yeah, so we got 64 beautiful cards in here. So I'm just going to take you a little bit of a walk through here. So the first two were not taken by me. Those were people in our community. Oops, did I miss anything? Okay, sorry, I thought somebody messaged. And then this one was taken by me. This was in Beijing. I went on an educator's tour, so I went with a bunch of teachers to China. We got to go to Beijing, Shanghai, Suzhou, and Hangzhou. This is Dragon Lake, and this one was considered like, they called it like the swan area because they thought this looked like a swan's wing. So it was like, you know, we were just riding on this beautiful like green lake, and there was like this swan wing. This is Tiger Hill, which is in, I believe, Suzhou. So there's, in the guidebook, it tells you like the whole myth that is behind this. This is one of the fishing towns in Hangzhou. That's also in Hangzhou. Okay, and then this one is from my friend Steph, but she took this when she was in Italy with her uncle. My stepmom took this one. This is in Hawaii. It's my boyfriend's parents' neighborhood. I also took that one. So a lot of them are me, but most of them, like, you know, are the community. This is my aunt's backyard. Mammoth Mountain, and this is the only one of the two cards that doesn't have Wally on it. This is actually my boyfriend's old cat Herb, and this was just before he had passed away. So to me, this is like the winter of his life. He's looking off into the sunrise because he is starting a new journey. So I have this as card number 13, which is transition in the tarot. So because I also work with numerology, I have certain images for a reason for certain numbers, because of like the numerological like association. So there's that. There's a little bit of tarot in here too. This one, I love this one. Actually, this one is on my mantle just behind you guys. This is my grandfather. And I just think it was a really like peaceful moment and very honoring to see, you know, these people that there was a bunch of his friends that came out and like put a bunch of money in so that he could have like a really proper serviceman's funeral. You know, he was a serviceman for the United States Navy, and my family didn't really have like the cash to like give him like a really fancy funeral, you know. So these people came in and they dropped like a buttload of money for him, so that he could have the horse-drawn carriage, which is something I know that he would have loved. So this is a very special one for me. And then this one is in Mission Valley, San Diego. Also Mission Valley, but that's above our stadium. And my boyfriend actually took this one in Campo. I like the blur to it because I like that it has a lot of motion, and to me that would be something when it comes to meaning, like if you pulled this like in a spread or something. Although it's made for meditation, I have already been using it like with my prototype with spreads and cards of the day, and I can read it just like I can any other oracle deck or tarot deck. But you know, its intention was for meditation and healing. This is Crystal Pier. And then I think Cosmic Creeper took this picture, I believe. That's my bamboo in my front yard. And I took this one when I was in Italy. This is a Duomo. That's in Florence, by the way. Because I was in Italy, because I was in an opera in Italy about 4 years ago. So I was staying in Viterbo, and that's where I did my opera, and I had the Mezzanotte performance, and I got to visit briefly Florence and Rome before I left. But that is Viterbo, and there was a lot of healing that happened while I was there. There was a lot of transition. This is also in Italy. This is Bombarzo, Italy. There's like this, it's called Parco dei Mostri, which is like Monster Park. And it's like these giant stone things, some of them that are just like so tall. And so this like really eccentric rich dude had like made this whole park of stone creatures and mythical creatures and battles taking place for his wife. So it was all for her, you know, to show his love for her. And it is said that Salvador Dali had visited this place, and that's where he gained a lot of inspiration. So I thought that was kind of cool. That is the Basilica, that is the Vatican, and also the Vatican, the Vaticina. This is a Dia de los Muertos party that my friend throws every year. And so that's all of our ancestors. I thought that would be like a really good, you know, card for like ancestral work or, you know, things like that. And this one kind of being in the crowd. This is actually in Balboa Park during their like kind of like Festival of Lights kind of thing. Sherry Bug says, nothing says I love you like a giant stone monster. I know. It's like, oh, the giant head of Medusa. You shouldn't have. This one is in OB, Ocean Beach. So that's Hodad's. And the motto of Ocean Beach here in San Diego is keep OB weird. Like, it's definitely a weird little surf town. And it's like, oh, that's all you can describe it, is keep it weird. And there's a lot of healing there, you know. Sometimes when you're having a bad day, you just need to be in a weird place and you feel a lot better. My friend Steph took this. It's called Hal's Woods. So that's actually a bunch of lavender. Actually, she's texting me right now. I can see it. And this one, I believe, is in, hold on. I want to get the author right. So what page number? That is 33. Okay, yeah, I was pretty sure. So that is taking place in Hawaii. That's also in Hawaii. It's now open to the public, but it used to be a Buddhist monastery. Yay! It's also in Hawaii. So yes, these are sherry bugs, by the way. This one I took in Yosemite. I've only been there once, and I went there with my good friend and her 2 daughters. That was such a trip, you guys. That was like my friend and I came back crying from that trip. It was so special. That's a picture I took of the moon. And then this one is, I believe it's in Australia. Let me see, 38. Yes, Victoria, Australia. And this one is right outside this window over there. That is the Sweetwater Reservoir here in Spring Valley. And that is the view from the balcony at the foot of my bed. So as I watch the sunrise, that's the sunrise. Kind of looks like a sunset, but it's the sunrise. Sunset's on the other side of the house. My friend took this when he moved his family to Phoenix, Arizona, and he's kind of always enjoyed sunsets, but he had written in the guidebook why this one has particular meaning for him. This one is in Tucson, Arizona. This is the world's largest rose bush. So it's held up with all these pylons. It's huge. It's an entire backyard. And unfortunately, I didn't get to come when it was in full bloom. It's probably like just gorgeous then, but it was beautiful when I was there anyway. It's also in Tucson. Oh, sorry, this is uh, Tombstone. Tombstone. Sherry Bug said, what a great chakra card the sunrise would be. So lovely orange. Yes, and definitely you can use the colors of the deck because I try to make sure that I picked a lot of vibrancy, you know, and I know there's a lot of green in here, you know, because a lot of people do find healing in nature. But there are some other colors, like here you have like the blue, or this could also be more like an ultraviolet, almost like, you know, for third eye or throat, depending on how you wanted to use it, or even a crown. But my friend in Arizona took this in Phoenix. My friend Charmaine, who I consider the opera star, who's, you know, sang all over the world, and she just got her second contract with the Met. This picture was taken when she got her first contract with the Met, and so this is actually the stage of the Metropolitan Opera in New York, and it's kind of all creeped out because it was for L'Amour, so yeah. And this one is also in Australia. This one is in the UK, taken by Cosmic Creeper. This one was taken by my stepmom when her and my father went to Peru. And that is Peru. And Peru. This is when the sky turned an awesome shade of purple out my backyard. I thought that was pretty cool. This one is in Hawaii, but it's where they filmed Gilligan's Island. So that was taken by a friend of ours. And this was taken by the same friend of ours on a hike in the Lagunas. This one was taken by Amber in Wonderland. And so this one is in Scotland. And this is Belgium. And UK. 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 This one is the, oh, what's the name of that tour? This one is Glastonbury tour. There we go. I knew that was also UK. Let me scroll back. Sherry Bug, I really like photos with paths or roads on them. It's like a great way to think about moving forward. Exactly. You know, and I made sure to incorporate some of those as well. And then this one is actually taken by Wayward Sun, and this is in Pleasant Valley, Idaho. Sorry, I'm just referencing my guidebook, making sure I don't get the info wrong. And then I know that Wild Feather took this picture. This is in Hunts Point, Nova Scotia. And Wasima from Wazi Magic took this one, and of course this one is Stonehenge. And here we are at the very end. And so this card is a little bit different than the other cards, so let me show you. Okay. So like I showed you guys, all the other cards have the circles, you have the triangles, you know, like I said, that this is a separation of infinity, so that everything that is in the middle of it is like an infinite amount of healing. This last card though, I kind of had all those things come together, and the gold foil is now surrounding our old cat Presley, who passed away back in 2014. Yeah, 14, 15, 16, yeah, because now it's been 5 years, because Wally's 5 years old. And he is the healing journey home, you know. We considered him like, you know, the little nurse, the little healer. He was like more than a cat, you know. As much as we love, you know, Wally and everything, just Presley was special in his own way. You know, Wally is also very special, you know, kitty, but Presley, there was just something about him, especially, you know, with his lavender eyes. He had lavender eyes. People would just come in and they would just be like, whoa, like, what's up with your cat? Like, there's something special about him. And so losing him was very, 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 very painful. You know, and we still get a little sad about it, you know, because even though it's been 5 years, you know, and we have him buried actually right out in my garden in the backyard. But he was always trying to help us, help us, help us, but now he's on the other side trying to help, and it's kind of like, as his journey has ended, he's helping you to continue on your journey. So yeah, this is the healing journey home. That's our home, our 2 cars. And I have everything kind of balanced, kind of like the symbols that were here. There was a triangle, 2 triangles. Well, it's kind of like the triangles of our roof. So the 2 triangles are still there. The 2 circles are now our lights that were on either side, the 2 cars, the 2 windows. So it still has the balance of all the other cards. It still has the sacred geometry, except now it's put into reality. It's put into life. So I love that card. It's a special card. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Sherry Bug likes it. So yay! So yes, this is my Wally's world. Cat Whiskers says, beautiful cards, amazing job. Thank you. I'm sure the process itself has meant a lot to you, as well as the cards themselves. Yes, it's been, it's not just been like, I'm just going to crank this stuff out, but it's been a lot of, it's actually been, like a healing journey for me, and I know that sounds like kind of cliche, whatever, but it's true, and I always, I would hear people that would make, creators of decks, tarot decks and oracle decks, and they always say that they end up going through the journey as they make the cards, and I was like, okay, and I wasn't really expecting kind of what that journey would look like or feel like, so every time I was like set back in something, and every time I had to spend hours on like one image, because I have to like, try and get Wally to fit in there, and I'm trying to do the borders and everything. And it's like, it was making me focus on each and every card that was on the screen in front of me, and I had to look into everybody's photo, and I had to like blow it up on my screen because I'm making sure that everything looks good. And it's like I was literally diving into everybody's picture, and I would start feeling all these emotions while I'm like trying to do my Photoshop. And it was like, yeah, a lot of stuff came up for me, and and yeah, I was like, it's wonderful, obviously my mind's blown that I actually get to have all these decks, behind me. But I don't know, it was definitely like pretty healing for me too. Like pretty healing. Celtic Witch says, gorgeous deck. You should be really proud of what you have achieved. Thank you so much. And Lady Knight said, I love the thought process behind it. Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, it's not just like a bunch of pretty images. There was a lot that went into it, which is why, I wanted everything to be perfect, because it had to be like, this one has to be this number, this one has to look this way, Wally has to be right here. Like, there was an intention for everything. Sherry Bug said, it's a great final card at very end of journey. Yeah, so it's like an ending but a beginning, which is also why, again, like I said, I like the numerology. It's card number 64. I needed to have 64 cards in my deck, because 64, 6 plus 4 is 10. And 10, which you could also break down into 1, is, and a 10 could be like an ending or a beginning in tarot. 1 is definitely like a fresh, like wands type start, like, kind of Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Coins, just everything. So it's something has come to an end, perhaps, part of your journey, but you're starting out on a new journey. So yeah. Let's see, Cat Whiskers, pictures paint 1,000 words. Yes, for sure. Which is why I opted not to have keywords on my cards. And I know there were a lot of people who are like, oh, but we need keywords. And I mentioned that in the guidebook, and I was like, keywords are great. Most of my decks that I have keywords on them, like my oracle decks. I do have a few oracle decks that don't have keywords, and I like that too. But I was like, if somebody's on a healing journey, how can I put words to their journey? I can help put pictures in their path, but I can't give you guys words to your own journey. Like, everybody's different, everybody's unique, everybody's at a different point. So if I were to, let's say put a keyword here, which to me, this one looks like the Fool card, because it's the starting off, it's the great adventure, it's the, I don't know where this is going to take me, but I'm excited about it. So to me, that's why I wanted this one as number one. Is to me, this is the Fool, and this would be like your 10 of anything, beginnings and endings. So yeah, and it's just like, yeah. I just didn't want keywords. I want you guys to fill in your own keywords, kind of make you work for it a little bit. Let's see, Sherry Bug, like soul cards, no words, it's what you see that matters. Yes, so me, I see the Fool card. You guys probably look at this, you see something completely different. I did make sure that in the guidebook here, I put what the artist or the photographer had said, like how did they feel, but that's how they felt. Maybe you can get something from that if you're doing a reading or doing a healing or a meditation or whatever it is that you want to do with these cards. But it's like, you put to it what you want to. Maybe you see this and you see love, maybe you see this and you see decision, so I don't want to like put it in a category by putting keywords. So plus I think they look prettier without keywords. So yes, this is my Wally's World Oracle. By the end of this next week, so it's the 26th? Yes, I think so. Well, whatever Friday is of this next week. I plan on having everything just kind of shipped out. So I'm super excited. If you're interested in getting this, obviously I have a lot of boxes behind me. There's some available. They're going to be available. They are available right now on my website, www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. I'm going to put them on Etsy as well, because Etsy has a lot of foot traffic and I want, a lot of people to be able to see the deck. But on Etsy, their fees are a lot higher than PayPal fees, because my website uses PayPal. So PayPal takes their percentage, but Etsy, the percentage is higher. And plus they would like to charge like shipping and stuff. So if it's through my website, you don't have to pay shipping. And it's $40. People did Kickstarter. It's cheaper because they backed me, so it's like a little bit cheaper. And yeah, so yeah, on my website it's $40 and it's free shipping. But in Etsy it would be $45 with shipping, so that it would cover like the Etsy fees. So, hey, Grun Oila, Green Owl, what's up? So yeah, so I'll have it on Etsy, but I'll put the little note that like, hey, if you would like free shipping and you want it to be like $5 cheaper, like head over to my website. So yeah, I'll have it in both places though. So yeah, if you guys are interested, so I'm gonna put my little Angel Aura quartz back on top of it, because I just feel like it's got some good energy. It has been surrounded by my hemimorphite though, by the way. So it's been sitting on my altar, which has a ton of hemimorphite on it. Okay, so let me see how I'm doing. Great. I have about a half an hour left with you guys, because I actually have acupuncture today. I'm trying to, get all feeling good for Saturday of next week, because Saturday of next week, Homegirl has her 20-year class reunion. So I'm trying to get all like ready for not seeing some homies that I went to high school with. And well, I saw, okay, the 10-year class reunion was pretty lame. It was like a last minute thing. There were 10 of us. There were 10 at our 10-year reunion. Counting significant others, there was 20. And we had like a class of like 300 or 400 people, and there was like 10. So this time they have tickets, and like we actually did it, like we decided we were going to adult this time and be like adults and have like a fancy thing. So we're gonna have it in Imperial Beach. It's at a place called C180. I've never been there before. It's down the street from a brewery. They're like, we could have the after party at the brewery. I'm like, we'll see what time it is, because I get kind of tired early. We're like old now, But we get to dress up. So I've been like really hitting the gym, like really hard, almost like, because what if I have to put on the gun show? What if, I gotta bust out the guns for people that I went to high school with, they may not know that I have a gun show to show, so I have to make sure that they're like, you know, ready to go. Sherry Book, I've never been to one of my class reunions. I'm interested to see what our more adult class reunion is going to look like this time. Green Owl said 20-year has an after party, but a 30-year has a midway nap. So yeah, I'm like, we'll see how late this goes, if I feel like going to any sort of after party. The dude and I are going to be responsible. We're going to be just taking an Uber down there so that if, we have a cocktail or two, we're not like doing anything irresponsible, drunk driving or anything like that, or buzz driving. So we're just going to take an Uber. It'll probably be like a $30 thing, Uber there, Uber back. I went yesterday and I got my hair cut. I actually got 8 inches of my hair taken off. So it's still long, but I had literally this much hair taken off because I'm tired of sitting on my hair. I like long hair, but let me see. Green Owl, so no yellow mobile with guns blazing. So yeah, my hair was longer. It was about this much longer, but yeah, it's still long, So I went to the salon yesterday, so that my hair looks good. Ooh, still smells good from the salon, even though I already washed my hair again. But yeah, that's for next Saturday too. So I'm going to acupuncture today, get all nice and loose. I might do one extra acupuncture before, I go with my other mom, my Chinese mom, Dr. Wang. I'm gonna go get one of those facial scrubby things, my fave ladies that I go do my manicures and pedicures like a few times a year, like they do a scrubby facey thing, so maybe I'll do like a scrubby face. And Missy, hey. So yeah, we're doing that, and I'm like, do I have to do anything else? Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna get a manicure and a pedicure. So manicure, pedicure, hit the gym hard, especially the day of, get a face scrubby, did my hair. Yes, I think we're ready to go. 20 years, here we come, class of 99. So yeah, there's that. And Missy, we just kind of went over the Wally's World, which is why I have all these boxes. That's my Wally's World decks, so I just thought that might be kind of cool for you guys to see. There's if I pull it down, I'm probably going to drop them all on me, but there's one smaller box of them up there. That's like the last 25 of them or something. And then the dude just like, as a, I don't know, he was really proud of me for, getting, having all this show up, and he's like, wow, like that's pretty cool. Oh, thank you, Missy. So on Prime Day that we had for Amazon, he got me a little something. He was like, it wasn't part of the Prime deals, but you like stuffies, and you done pretty good, so he got me a little. This is Squiggy. Christina. So yeah, so we have Squiggy. Maybe over on Instagram, I'll have Squiggy give a reading with my Wally's World. I had so much fun having the Larry the Lobster, which is my dude's like stuffed animal, stuffed lobster, like give a reading. Larry the Lobster is in the bed upstairs. I have tons of stuffies upstairs, but I'm liking like having fun with readings, like giving actual readings, but using stuffed animals. I think is kind of cute. Oh, Christina, you're so welcome. I hope that you enjoyed the guidebook, because it's what's in here. So yeah, everybody's gonna have these mailed out to them by the end of next week. Woo, woo. That's what all these boxes are. Hold on, let me go back here. Sherrybug, I wouldn't fit in with anyone in my high school class anymore. Only a couple left in Ohio. Oh, I've been a little nervous because uh, I'm pretty sure everybody's changed. Everybody's not like they were in high school. And I'm still like goofy like I was in high school. Like I've always been goofy. I've always dressed kind of goofy. Like I've always kind of been my own thing. You know, some days like I'd come to school and I'd be dressed like it's 1970 because I felt like it. Or one day I would dress like a teacher because I felt like it. Or one day I'd be grunge or like, you know, because I felt like it. Although I always did try to dress like Cher from Clueless because I wanted her closet. And I didn't really have Cher's closet, so I had to improvise with what I have, which came out to look kind of funky, but you know, I tried. But I think, you know, well, I don't know. Since I didn't see most everybody at the 10 year, I'm a little interested to see what the 20 year is going to be like. I'm also a little nervous because it's like, you know, I haven't seen these people in like 20 years and a little awkward, like a lot's happened. Like in the words of Nicolas Cage, well, gosh, kind of a lot's happened since then. You know, like, where do I start? What do I say? I mean, a lot of them know like kind of what I do already because I'm kind of sort of friends with them on Facebook, but I don't really like interact really. It's just we post stuff and we like things. So they know I have 2 cats, I think. They know I'm a teacher. They know I like have a tarot business. They know I like still work out. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. Cat Whiskers said, happy as Larry. He did well holding the card. I thought that was so cute and his little claw could like hold the card. So I want to have fun, you know, maybe over on the Instagrams with the stuffies. So I might use little squiggy here. Christina said, I was a disaster in high school. Best to leave it behind. You know, there was a lot of stuff that I don't. You know, it's like it's weird when you think about, or at least for me, I think about high school and I don't really think about it like all the time, but you know, I work at a high school, so sometimes things do come up and like certain things do play on in my mind of like, oh, I remember doing that in high school and stuff like that. But it's not like I long to be back in high school because I really don't. I really don't want to be back in high school. Like that would be a nightmare for me. I mean, it wasn't like a nightmare to be there, but just like the whole growing up, finding yourself, friends, losing friends, friends that backstab, friends who are genuine, like drama. That's never been my thing. So that's a place I don't want to go back to as a high schooler. I have to actually be in a high school because I teach in a high school, but I don't want to be like with the children as the children. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually a little nervous, which is why I think I'm gonna do like acupuncture today, and then I'm gonna do one more before the reunion. I'll probably have some acupuncture after the reunion because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what kind of emotions are gonna come out. I don't know what's gonna come up, you know, like I don't want to deal any old drama because like how childish would that be if some people like brought up some like old drama from like 20 years ago? I'm like, really? So yeah. Okay, so yes, dude got me Squiggy. Squiggy is probably gonna do a reading on Instagram, so look out for that. And then with the Amazon like Prime Day, you know, because there were some deals, which was great because I could get like packing stuff for these decks like a lot cheaper, which was good. I saw this thing on Charmed Intuition Tarot. I don't know if you guys know her. She's freaking awesome. She has the best pick of cards ever. And she uses this magnetic pendulum. Like how cool is that? But she sometimes puts like little papers here. So instead of using what's actually written, like, you know, putting, you know, choices and things like that. I thought that is so fun and so cool. Missy said, high school wasn't too bad. Just like you said, too much drama. Yeah, save the drama for your mama. Sherry Bug said, I have to say, I see the ones that used to make fun and bully me, and it doesn't bother me that they got ugly and have wrecks of lives. Yes, it's a bit spiteful, but it's true. You know, I think there's something like that in all of us, you know, no matter how like spiritual we try to be, although we come from it like maybe from a little bit different angle. But you know, sometimes, you know, when I look on Facebook and people that want to friend me who maybe really weren't my friends, back in high school. And, I kind of just curiosity just wants to be like, what happened with them? And, and I kind of look and I'm like, oh, well, like, they used to think they were so much better than me. And it turns out that their, lives maybe not be that great. And I'm thinking, at first, part of me is like, well, that's what you get for being a mean person. But the other part of me is like, well, maybe they had wrecks of lives to begin with, and maybe that's why they were so mean to me in high school, and now I'm just like actually seeing it, now that I can like look through Facebook and see it as an adult. So I don't know. I think there's two sides of that. I think there's like, the just our natural human reaction to want to see, justice enacted on people that were not the kindest of people. But then at the same time, the other side of me likes to look and see like, maybe, I didn't really know what kind of homes they had, what kind of upbringings, maybe, since now I see it with my high schoolers, some of them that act out and are like little jerks to like other kids, it's stemming from something, it's coming from something. So I can see the other side, but Sherry Bug, I do see where you're coming from, because there's that part of me that's like, well, you were kind of a mean person, so that's what happens. But then the other side's like, well, I kind of, hope people don't have crappy situations, but I'm just like, maybe you already had a crappy situation. I just wasn't aware of it when I was in high school. So yeah, that's probably the Libra in me. That's my Libra moon. As the pendulum swings. But yeah, this is pretty cool, because there's magnets in each of these slots. So, you could use an actual pendulum, but if you like ask the question, well, since we're talking about high school, let's see, what movie star did I have a crush on in high school? I had a crush on Data from Star Trek. Like, I really did. I wanted an android as a boyfriend. Okay, other crushes besides an android. A lot of my friends liked David Boreanaz, but I was like, he is so old for you guys. Cause like, like Buffy was on, and yeah, so yeah, there's people were in it. I wasn't really that into David Boreanaz. I liked Devon Sawa, if you guys remember him. Data crush? Yes, I had a data crush. Lady Knight said that reminds me of the movie Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. Girl, I was just thinking of that movie like a few days ago. I was like, maybe I should watch that actually before my reunion, because I haven't seen that movie in quite some time. And I was like, I wonder if it's gonna be like Romy and Michelle. Missy says, I crushed on Robert Downey Jr. Okay, so yeah, Robert Downey Jr. was, he's still a handsome fella, but I liked Devon Sawa. I liked Brandon, why can't I remember his name? He was on, why can't I remember these things anymore? Old brain, why old brain? It's not Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the JTT, like that was like after me. Like I was like, he looks like a little turd. Like, no. No, it was Jonathan Brandis. Yes, Jonathan Brandis. I had a crush on him. He was like in the Never Ending Story and stuff like that. Who else did I have a crush on? I had a crush on not Luke Perry, but the other guy in 90210. Jason Priestley. Oh, Jason Priestley. Let's see. Sherry Bug said, my time everyone crushed on Tom Cruise from Top Gun. Okay, here's the thing about Top Gun. I had a crush on Val Kilmer. I think that my dude kind of looks like a young Val Kilmer, especially when he was a little bit younger. But I thought Tom Cruise was okay looking, but I couldn't have a crush on Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise in Top Gun literally looks like my Uncle Danny, and my Uncle Danny is in the Navy, and he did have a motorcycle. And I was like, so like I couldn't crush on Tom Cruise because all I could see was my Uncle Danny. I'm like, yay, it's Uncle Danny. And the fact that it was filmed in San Diego. I mean, like, so I was like, oh, Val Kilmer all day, every day. Actually, no, that's my top crush, Val Kilmer. Circa The Saint and Top Gun and many other things. Oh, Val Kilmer. Let's see. Let me go back here. Cat Whiskers. Cat Whiskers says, Tom, for me too. The only poster I had on my wall was him. Lady Night Sequest. That's what I was talking about. So yeah, Jonathan Brandis was on Sequest. He was also in The Never Ending Story, which I loved The Never Ending Story. Cat Whiskers, take my breath away. Yes, that's what I hear. Bob Dylan, always for me, still crushing. For Christina, Sherry Bug, I do, but I'm not a Cruise fan anymore. I won't watch anything he's in now. But you know, former crushing. Lady Night, I just saw the trailer for the new Top Gun. Oh, so did I. I don't know, I think it could be good. I want to see Iceman though. I know that like in reality, Val Kilmer is not doing well because he has his throat cancer. But yeah, I'd like to see him, you know, maybe one more time, you know, going all the way back to Top Gun, you know, when they were just some youngins, you know. I think that would be kind of cool. Missy said, I went out with a guy who looked like Tom Cruise's twin. He was so sweet. Let's see. Sherry Bug says, there was a lot of hotties in Top Gun, that's for sure. Oh yeah, like dudes in jeans playing volleyball on the beach. I'm like, why are they in jeans? Why are they shirtless? I can understand the shirtless, but why jeans on the beach playing volleyball? But you know, it looked nice. I'm not complaining. Let's see. Kayanat, can I ask something? Oh, sure. Hey, while I got this like magnetic pendulum in here, sure. Sherry Bug, I stopped watching his stuff when he talked crap about Brooke Shields taking meds for postpartum depression. You know, it's kind of... I hate when sometimes like celebrities ruin the fantasy I have of them. You know, when you get to see like who they really are and you're like you totally ruined my fantasy. You know, but you know, unfortunately that happens. Like some people aren't as cool as they actually are in the movies. But yeah, Kainat, while I have this like magnetic pendulum, if you want to ask a question, I'll do that. Kainat said, how will Billy respond to me asking her out on Monday? Okay, so how will Belly respond to me asking her out on Monday? Lady Knight said, like when he jumped on the couch. Dude, that's the first thing that came to mind when I thought of Tom Cruise. Okay, so Ozark, we're gonna see the pendulum in action for Kayanat. How will Belly respond to me asking her out on Monday? Actually, let me see. I think we should go yes or no. Because it's the answers are definitely, maybe, yes, ask a friend, try again, and no way, Jose. It doesn't really say Jose, but no way, Jose. Okay, so maybe, will the response be, I don't know, elation to you asking her out on Monday? Okay, so we'll, her response be joyous to you asking her out on Monday. So that way we turn it into a yes or no question. Okay, so we're gonna pull, actually, let's make sure this thing is level. I'm gonna put it down here for just a second. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera down so you guys can see it in action and maybe not see my tootsies. Okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna do this for Kainat. Will her reaction be joyous to her being asked out on Monday? So it'll kind of do its thing and go all over the place. Okay, looks like it's stuck on. Bring this up for you. Stuck on, yes. All right, so chances are good. Things look good for you, Kainat. I like this little magnetic pendulum. Okay, let me just bring this back up here. What? Okay. And readjusting. Okay. All right, so Kainat, things look good. And Sherry Bug's wishing you good luck. So, yay. Let's see. Would Val Kilmer of back in the day, would Val Kilmer have dated me? If we were closer in age and if it was back in the day. Oh, you're welcome, Kainat. This is if Val Kilmer and I were actually closer in age. He's much older than me. And I think they said he was like, I think I looked the other day because I was watching the Top Gun like trailer. I think he's like 59. Try again. Ugh. Probably means try again in another life. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so Missy has to go. Well, you have fun at work. I hope you have an awesome day, and hopefully it's a beautiful day out there for you. And actually, I have to go in 5 minutes, people. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Although this tea is like a specialty. It's not like that enjoyable, but it's good for me. I made it, maybe I may have put a little bit too much red pepper in here. Ozark said that is the coolest pendulum. Okay, on Prime Day, this was like $5. Like this much enjoyment for $5? Yes, please. You know, it's like pretty simple. So, okay, let me have my Lady Knight said, doesn't he also play a blind massage therapist? Yes, he did. This is a healing tea. Way too much red pepper. But it's good for me. Can't you see the look on my face? Okay, so I would like to pull a card for you guys. Oh, Ozark, just type in magnetic pendulum. It'll come up. I think regular price, it's under $10. So it's like, that's a win. And it's on, like, it's Amazon Prime. So it's like free shipping. So, Sherry Bug, I looked and looked to find that mug on Amazon because I love it, but I couldn't find it. Okay, so this one, I don't know if you can find it on Amazon. My friend from Belgium got this for me. So she bought this in Belgium. She has one too, but it has like, you know, the, try not to break this, but it has like the Flower of Life lid. It has a little strainer that goes in here so that you can, you know, just put your teas in there, your herbs and stuff, and then take it out and sip. But yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome. But I don't know if you want to just look up like Flower of Life mug or Sacred Geometry mug or something like that. But yeah, this one was from Belgium, with love from Belgium. $8.97. Yes, Ozark. Today's tea has comfrey and red pepper and ginger. And that was for, I was having like some hydration issues because I've been working on the yard. And when I work on the yard, I don't want a lot of sun to get me. So, but not in Germany. What? Oh. I wear long pants and I wear a long sleeve. I wear gloves. I wear my hat, you know, my sunglasses. I have like sunblock on when I'm like working in the yard for hours. So I ended up getting a little too dehydrated the other day. And I think I was starting to get the onset of heat stroke, and I'm like familiar with all that stuff because I have to know it as a coach, you know, when I see heat stroke happening in athletes. So as soon as I started, like, because I was like so thirsty, I was drinking water, and I came inside, I was drinking water, and I realized I had stopped sweating, which is like a big like red flag. And I was like, oh crap, I have like the onset of heat stroke, which could actually kill you. And actually, a NFL player just dropped dead at the age of 32 from heat stroke, and he had guzzled water, but it wasn't that he was dehydrated. He was hydrated, but he had literally sweated out all his electrolytes. So he wasn't getting enough electrolytes, which is what caused the heart failure and death, which is what we learn as coaches for our athletes. And I'm like, oh crap, I stopped sweating, you know, like that's a bad sign, you know, now my body's overheating. So like I quickly like threw off all my clothes. I'm like in the middle of the kitchen, like Loki's looking at me like, you know, mom's gone crazy. I, you know, tried to cool my hands down. I started eating things that were really salty. I took a big spoonful of honey just to get like quick sugar and salt like in my system, and just like ate salt. And then guzzled some more water. And we have like the hydration tablets. I just forgot to take a hydration tablet, which has like all electrolytes and all that stuff. And it's like it's like instant, like into your body, all that stuff. Then I took like a really cold shower to cool myself down, and I was much better. But I have a little bit of like after effects of a little bit of dehydration, which is why I'm drinking that particular tea with the red pepper and ginger and comfrey is for all of that. So let's see. Ozark said it will be here on Tuesday. Yay! Sherry Bug said yes, I saw that. And Mika, yay! Congratulations! Just wanted to stop by and say hi. Thank you so much. So yeah, everybody that got my Wally's World is gonna have it shipped out by the end of next week. Super excited. Sherry Bug said we have had excessive heat warning here for days, and they're still having Little League games today. I can't believe it. Yeah, I heard actually through the Facebook grapevine about the heat wave happening like in Central and East Coast. But here, I mean, I live in East County in San Diego, which is a lot hotter than the rest of San Diego. So normally in the summertime around this time, it would be in the upper 80s to 90s, and we would have some days that are in the hundreds. So I'm pretty used to the heat, but sometimes I forget that my body gets a little too hot, you know, because I'll be covered from head to toe, literally like sweating my eyeballs out, you know, when I'm working in the yard, and I get so like laser focused on the job that I have to do, I don't realize that, you know, maybe my body's overheating a little bit, you know, so I just have to be a little more careful of my hydration. Ozark said, when my son was in basic training for the Army, there was a soldier who died during training from heat illness. Totally scared the crap out of me with worry for my boy. Yeah, it's scary, you know, especially with like things like basic training, football camps, soccer. It's the, you know, the old school thought of just like suck it up, you know, and now they're trying to make coaches a little more aware, and teachers and stuff like that, you know, when you start to see the beginnings of heat stroke, because they say when you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated, you know, that's like the first sign of dehydration is now you're thirsty. And so, you know, you want to not only drink a ton of water, but when you drink too much water, that's called hyponatremia, which is basically diluting your blood of salt, you know, and what it needs. So you could basically drown in water, basically, you know, sort of. And, you know, and then there's, of course, the other one, which is, you know, dehydration. So, you know, I just have to keep an eye on that, especially with track athletes. You know, we have track in the springtime, and sometimes it can get really hot. And when we're pushing them really hard and you see their faces turning red, I mean, a lot of them, you know, are red and they're sweating, but we have to make sure that they take a lot of water breaks and make sure that they, you know, cool their bodies down, you know, afterwards, you know, that they do a cool down, that they actually, you know, maybe have some ice, you know, stuff like that. So they get a proper cool down, that they have eaten enough that day. Cause you know, when you're hungry and you haven't eaten enough calories and you're dehydrated, like that's a recipe for disaster. And it's so hard with teenagers to get them to not only eat when they're at school, but just like eat food that's like not Takis, like really Takis, and you're supposed to get through like a 2-hour track workout. Takis will not a person save you, you know? Let's see. Sherry Bug, our heat index has been 103 to 108. Ugh, that's maybe a little too hot. Oh, yeah, you guys stay cool. Use some air conditioning. Play with the hose. Like my mom used to spray us with the hose in the front yard. Lady Night, this is why I'm so thankful to have a job where I have the summer off. Yeah, yeah, I can't. Well, I mean, luckily the high school that I work at, you know, it's an indoor high school and we're the only indoor high school because we don't technically need an indoor high school because we don't have snow or anything here. It's like sunny mostly all the time. But it's the only indoor high school and so it's always air conditioned. So no matter if it's freezing, burning, raining, storming, whatever it is outside, it's always whatever 69 degrees in my classroom. It's always freezing. Let's see, Cat Whiskers, it's 8 degrees Celsius here in New Zealand. Ooh. 8 degrees Celsius. So that's cold. That is cold. Oh my goodness. Ozark said, just walking to my clothesline, my bra gets soaked in sweat. Oh, that's the worst. That's why I like sometimes in the summertime, I'm like, you know what? We're not wearing a bra right now because it's too much extra fabric. It's just gonna get sweaty. Oh, it's, yeah, 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's too chilly for me. I'm a tropical people. Yes, Ozark, death hat and scarf weather. All right. Oh, okay. So I have to go, you guys. Like I said, I wanted to pull one quick card. I'm taking my boys to the river to swim and cool off today. Ooh, that's perfect. I like the river. I used to go to the river, actually, almost once a year. Okay, I'm gonna pull a card from my Wally's World Oracle and the Secret Mystic Grove. So I'm just gonna kind of feel through my Wally's World Oracle, give you guys like a quick message for the day, quick reading, and then I am off to acupuncture. Sherry Bug said most of the pools around here are having free swimming because of the heat, so anyone could go. Oh, that's perfect. I like that. You know, get the, I mean, when it's like everybody's like involved in this heat, like why not help everybody out for sure. Okay, then I'm gonna do one from Mystic Grove. So I'm gonna read these two cards together. We got. Oh. These two play nicely together. So again, this one is from the Mystic Grove. That's this one here. And written by our very own Arwen Lynch. So I'll make sure to do a review on that. You guys will get a review of, on my Wally's World, like my own review of my own deck. Like next Sunday. But yeah, this one here is my Wally's World. This picture was taken in Phoenix, Arizona by my friend who I've been friends with basically since 7th grade. And he moved his 4 sons and his wife to Phoenix because it's a lot cheaper than California and they kind of have a big family. So okay, so the message here says beauty, and this is number 22, by the way. And it says radiance, self-esteem, strength. I was just looking at the numbers. So we have 22 and then we had 41, which is 5. So that's interesting. Okay, so radiance, self-esteem, and strength. And I like the word radiance came out, especially with this sunset here. So let me... Okay, so what came to mind is usually when we think of like a sunrise, that's like, you know, beginnings, things are radiating, things are beautiful, you know, there's so much beauty in beginning, but there's so much beauty in ending. Like look at the end of a day, you know, especially if you're in a place that has gorgeous sunsets. And I hear that Hawaii has some of the most beautiful sunsets. San Diego, I don't think we do too shabby in the sunset department. You know, I think we have some pretty beautiful sunsets too, but that's the ending of a day, and the endings can be beautiful as well, you know, so don't, you know, I think that when we think of something coming to an end, like, well, you know, I was talking about high school, you know, when high school was coming to an end. For some people, it's like it's coming to an end. You know, a job is coming to an end. A friendship is coming to an end. You know, and when we think of end, it's like the end, final. It's like, oh no, you know, we see it as it's like, you know, darkness as bad, but endings can be very beautiful. Just look at sunsets, you know. So if you're having something that's coming to an end, what about this ending can you see its radiance and its beauty? Because that will help to change the energy around it, change your perspective, and change how you feel about this ending. So if you, let's say, are ending a relationship, you know, of course, there's that heartbreak, you know, especially if it's somebody that you didn't want to end the relationship with, you know, there's this horrible feeling. Of course, you know, I've had relationships that ended, I didn't want them to end. But what could I see now looking back on it? How could I have seen the radiance in that ending? Well, if I didn't have that ending, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have learned this. If I wasn't with this person, you know, I wouldn't have learned this about myself, you know, and this ending taught me this. And then I was able to go on to, you know, X, Y, and Z. So there is beauty in endings. Don't always look at them as just total darkness. The sun just doesn't go total darkness. There's always a sunset before the dark. So, so that's your message for today. Let's see. Cat Whiskers, also beauty matches you getting your facial and haircut and getting your pretty on. I am. I'm getting my, I don't know, my glow up. Is that what they call it? On YouTube, getting their glow up. And Jen, the taxidermy witchifer. Hey. So yeah, so I gave you guys just a little message from my Wally's World Oracle, and I'm gonna squeeze in like a quick healing. Then I got to go to acupuncture, and what's nice is acupuncture is like right up the street. So I promise I won't break any speed laws. You're welcome, Celtic Witch. Besides, the cops around here are semi-nice. Okay, so feels nice, like not sitting on my hair. Okay. So if you would like to take part in this healing, all you have to do is say it in the comments, say it out loud, say it in your brain, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that that intent is that you are open to the healing. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you don't want to be open to the healing, because some people have like their particular types of healing they like to do and their types of energy they like to work with. So totally no offense to me if you are not wanting to partake in it. You don't have to stay here for the healing. You guys can go about your day, you know, and just know that the healing will reach you. Oh, Ozark, yay! And if you would like this to go to somebody in particular, again, just do the same thing. You can mention it in the comments, say it out loud, say it in your brain, whatever you want to do. And know that that healing will reach that person or that place. Some people like to send it to particular places. Like if I wanted to send it to parts of, you know, places where my ancestors came from, you know, I could send ancestor healing, you know, if I wanted to. So you could do something like that. So here we go. I'm going to take another little sip of my very peppery tea. Very peppery. And here we go. All right. Yay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that healing. I did a little bit of a specific healing in there for that one. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. If you're in a place that is burning hot right now, I hope that you stay cool. Make sure everybody around you stays cool. Go to those open local pools or go to the river, or you know what, just get sprayed with the hose in the front yard. That's how I used to do back in the day. Sit in the kiddie pool and like spray yourself. Like that's what we used to do. So yeah, you're welcome, Essence. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you again were one of my backers or you pre-ordered my Wally's World, just know I'm gonna send these out next week. Ozark, I'm so glad you're able to feel the goodness. It was I was using a lot of flower healing for that one, and I was just doing a little something specific for you guys. So yes, you guys all have an awesome Saturday. Go have fun. Come back next Saturday and tell me all your stories of your crazy weeks. And if you're in a place that's pretty cold, like New Zealand right now, then you know, bundle up, bring out your scarf, and have fun with if you guys can have like a little fireplace, you know, snuggle up over there. So Sherrybug said, sit in the kiddie pool with the ducks. Yes, 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 you and the duckies. All right, so peace, love, and chicken grease, you guys. I will catch you next week, live chat, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're welcome, Ozark. Catch you later. I'll tell you guys all about my reunion.